You're going to run out of the room. You're going to call up Mary Jo and say, Mary Jo, will you take over this guy? That'll work too, probably, because I love working with new business builders. Yeah, what now? That's another reason why you don't go out there and share the business. Because you don't know what to do with them if you got one. So why am I going to go out there and try to find one? Well, that's why we're here today, to make you very proficient at that as well. So let's walk through that. Okay, the first steps, really, when you start a brand new business builder, you want to be in their face immediately. You're going to babysit this person. You're going to be with them. In fact, I am working with a couple right now, and I'm on the phone with them every other day, and some of them every day. Depends on how much they want to talk to me, but you know what? If they don't call me back in a day or two, I'm on the phone with them. I'm not letting them they're not sneaking. They're not sneaking by, because I know that if they go a week without talking to me, they're dead. Why are they dead? Because they're ruining their first month story. They're trying to hide. Something else came up. They're having second thoughts or doing whatever, or they're getting caught up in, I need to be perfect before I start talking. That is a joke. You need to get them over that. The only way you become perfect is by sharing. Go out and share. You'll never run out of people. Trust me. There are billions out there. Share. And if you speak from your heart, you can never make a mistake. Do you know that? You could speak from your heart, and funny words come out. And you know what? The person's going to get where you're coming from. And that's all they care about. Where are you coming from? Not what you actually say, but where are you coming from? Is everybody clear on that? Okay, so we want to grab onto these people, and we're going to, Manatech and networking is a business to build independence in your people. But I want your first month with a new business builder to be really dependent, because they know nothing. They're coming from scratch. They're depending on you to be the player in their life that's going to help bring them along. And if you've never done this before, do it. Just jump in. If you need help, call Mary Jo. But we have a great website. The Team Champions website has all of this information on it. It has step-by-step what to do with a new business builder. So what do? We start off with their why, because why is their why important? Let's just run through this again. You guys have heard it 100 times. By the way, for everybody on this call and who is listening to this webinar, let me suggest that if you haven't done this yourself, you'll never find a business builder, and you'll never bring one along. So you need to jump in and do this for yourself, because the process of doing it yourself is going to help you with helping others go through the same process. You can't tell somebody to do something you're not willing to do. Did you ever learn that lesson in life? How many of you raised kids? I don't want you drinking. Oh, that's right. We just had a fifth of scotch last night. No, whatever. You're out of integrity with yourself, and you can't live a life like that very long without cracks and crevices and things crash and burn on you. So be in integrity, so do this yourself. What is your why? Why are you in this business? Everybody has a why. I just helped one of our guys work out his why. He didn't have one. He kind of had a funny one, because people, when they first write it down, it's just whatever comes to their head. But when they work through the why exercise, which is on the website, the why exercise, and then they start putting their goals down, when I look at what they want for retirement or long term, sometimes some of that comes back up and goes, whoa, isn't this really what your why is? Do you understand? When they start telling me, I want to be able to build water wells in foreign countries and make a donation like that every single month for the rest of my life, that's where I want to be. I want to be able to travel all over. I want to be able to contribute and spend 2 months in different cultures where we're helping the local community out by doing X, Y, Z. And I go, wow, I think we got your why. See what happens? You can start grabbing onto some of that future stuff and say, whoa, but what is your true passion here? What do you really view your life as? So you got to work at people and dig enough. You can't let them get away with just sending anything into you. This is why you need to experience it yourself, so you can see and capture, is it superficial, or is it really something that's going to tell? Every time they go, oh, Mary Jo, I don't know, this business is pretty tough, and I go, so your why wasn't important to you? And they go, see what's on the table for them? Their why. The why's got to be significant, otherwise they'll never find their way. So build that why, okay? Build a why. Contact list, I typically have people doing contact lists sometimes even before they sign up. When I go through that middle document where it says finding 4 partners, I say, can you think of people, right in the middle of that document, can you think of some friends or relatives or people you know who you'd love to have as your business partners in this business? So they're already building their contact list. You get what I'm doing? I want them to start working on a contact list even before they're signed up. So it's something even before they even do their why. I tell them, hey, I want you on your contact. I want you to start writing down names. Everybody you know, you know. But the website has a contact list form as well as a memory jogger. So they have a memory jogger that helps them trigger different names. And you want a contact list. You don't want a contact list of 10. You want a contact list of at least 200. Why? Oh, my kitty's throwing up. Sorry, folks, we have a sick kitty in the room. Just threw up all over the floor. I'll get Lydia to clean it up. Okay, thanks, Lynn. Maybe just get a paper towel. Poor Mikey. All right, where was I? My poor cat just made a mess in there. Okay, I was in contact. Where was I? Brainless. Contact list. But I was talking about... Oh, 200. Now, why do we want a list of over 200 people? Because if you have a list of 10 people and they contact the first 10 people and 8 of them say no, they're going to feel devastated because they only have 2 left. When they have a contact list of 200 and the first 8 say no, they still got 192 left. You follow? You got to get them believing that this is something, because we don't know if the first 8 are going to say yes or no, do we? We have no idea. But the idea is you don't want them to feel overwhelmed and devastated because the first 8 people said no. When you only have 10, that's your whole world. When you have 200 or more, you're excited because you still got another 192 to go, right? You follow? So that's the importance of having a significant contact list. Some people have thousands. Some people bring me their church directory, but you want to work with them on building that contact list to make sure they build it as big as possible, and that's important. Goals and business plan, you have to help them set their goals and their business plan. They have to have goals, and the goals are like when do they want to make their first money, all their Manatech goals. What are their income goals? What are their debt paid? Maybe somebody has a goal, I want to be totally out of debt by December of 2015. Whatever you want to have personal goals. You want them to have family goals. You want them to have social goals. There's 5 or 6 different categories of goals that we have on our goal sheet. Why do I do that? Some people only talk about Manatech goals. Why do I choose to do that? I never work with anyone unless I hear all the goals they have in all their areas of life. Because I don't want an imbalanced person. I want people to invest in their education, in their social life, in their spiritual walk. I want you to look at yourself as green and growing in every aspect of your life, not just Manatech, so that you have all this activity going on that's supporting you to be a better person and make a bigger difference, right? That's what I look like. All right, so that's goals and business plan. The business plan is actually there for you. You can draft it. You're just putting in what your commitments are because, a failure to plan is a plan to fail. Exactly. Failure to plan is plan to fail. Your support team, you want a support team document so that your brand new person knows who to call. They know who is the person that signed them up, what's their contact information, who's their first upline, regional, national, executive, presidential. They need a support team document so they know exactly when they get in trouble with something, they know who to call. They have a number right there they can get a hold of, or an email as well, right? Support team. Support documents. What are support documents? Google Drive. Oh, the Google Drive. Okay. Support documents. Why is that? They need to set up. It's one of the first things. That's where all the email attachments come out. Oh, okay. So it's just one. Oh, so these are like support documents for prospecting, for marketing, so that they set up Google Drive so they have access to all the email attachments and they're familiar with that and other documents as well. Time management, we put in there a calendar. You want your people working off a calendar. I'm driving that home, right, Ginger? Big time. I'm telling everybody. I said, I don't like to work with people who don't have a calendar. I want you to take a calendar. We have a week calendar time, and you block out when are you not going to do Manatech because you can't. You're not going to do it while you sleep. You're not going to do it at church. You're not. There's certain time slots, and then you can make choices. When are you choosing not to do Manatech? Well, Friday night's my date night with my husband. We play bridge, so I'm not going to do Manatech then. I still might because I look at somebody and I go, "Did you notice anything different in my face?" And one guy, did I tell you the story at the bridge table? And so we play bridge, and this guy, Jimmy, he looks at me and he goes, "Did you get a facelift?" And I go, "Facelift in a bottle." Now, he was playing bridge with his wife, so what do you think his wife did? You bet, man. It's like that. Who doesn't want a facelift in a bottle? Every woman wants a facelift in a bottle. So notice the language was great. But all I did was ask, did you notice a difference? See? So you do things like, so you might still do business, but that's bridge night. So you lock out things where you're not going to do it. This is when we have dinner. This is when we have this, whatever those times. And now the rest of the calendar, now you can, that doesn't mean every time that's not filled out is Manatech time. It just means now from the time left on the calendar, what time are you choosing to do Manatech? Now you have blocks of times during your week that you're committed to Manatech. And you don't waffle and waver from them. Those committed times are you are in the business and you are all in the business. There's not any exceptions. There's not going out and doing laundry or doing this or doing whatever. It's the business. So that means you have dedicated time to do Manatech. So what do you do during that time? Well, then you look at your business plan, and it tells you how many commitments have you made, how many people are you going to share with, how many presentations you're going to do, how much time are you going to spend reading books. Some people, of course, getting back to the people that have to be perfect first, they want to spend all their time reading books. That's why I put that in a category. 70% of your time should be prospecting. As a brand new person, no excuses. 70% of your time should be in the field prospecting. That means either out there making new contacts, finding new people, making appointments, doing presentations, follow-up and closing. That's what you're spending 70% of your time on as a new person. All right? But you got to have what? You have to have time management. You have to have that calendar working for you. And then understanding the revenue plan. Not only the revenue plan, but we also do what? We also do product training as well. And what do we use for product training? You don't train them on the products. Use Let's Go Natural. Use Let's Go Natural as a video, a DVD. In 35 minutes, they can know everything they need to know about Ambertose, AO, Phytomatrix, and Plus. And then you can throw in the youth video from Dr. Kassir so they can learn about youth, and now you got everything covered. If they want to know about the other products in Manatech's line, Manatech is doing a great job of getting little video clips, like 5-minute video clips from Dr. Nugent on the separate products. So you can just open up that possibility for them if they want to look up and find that out. They can go and research the other products, or they can ask questions. All right? Here's our new look of Team Champions. What do you think? You like it? Instead of the white background and stuff like that, we're trying to build a little more professional look to it. So here's Welcome to Team Champions. Of course, you got the toolbar on the top, and you got the team calls, tool shed, getting started, coaching. So hit getting started, and that's where you're going to find all this information that you can work with your new business builder. Getting started, your why, and notice how they just built into it. Everything blue is a link. So you click on it, and there's your why sheet. You can print it off, you can fill it out and send it in, whatever it is. Memory jogger, goals and business plan, support team document. Okay, then you have setup for Google Drive, time management, your weekly action planner, understanding Manatech's compensation plan. You've got 3 different things to look at that. And then initial product training is there as well, 4 core products and everything. So bingo. The thing that we're adding to this, too, we're adding a page. I don't know if you have it next, Lyd. Do you have it? The administrative. Okay, we're going to add one thing. It's called administrative. It's going to be learning. It's going to be buying your pack, setting up your automatic order, managing your automatic order, navigate, success tracker, things like that. So they get the administrative stuff will be all on one page. How about that? Just so you don't have to mess with it, because I don't want you to have to. Do you notice what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to make it that you don't have to think. That you can go one place and find all of it just bing, 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 bing. So you don't have to worry about something falling through the cracks. It's all there. Just work through these documents with the people. But your job is going to be knowing what to, tell them. When they give you goals, you're going to have to look at them and you're going to have to decide, are these good or bad goals? So do some work on you. Mary Jo just did another piece this past week on goals, setting goals, about they have to be smart. You know, when I just was working with one of my new business builders, I told him exactly what he needed. He said he had to be present tense. The first set of goals he wrote didn't have dates, it didn't have this, so I walked through them. He sent back the second draft, and every one of them said, I will. And I go, well, you got a lot of it done, but that will is future tense. Notice you can't use will. You always talk about it being today. Anytime you say, I will do something in the future, it goes out of your brain in that moment because it's sometime down the road. So if you're going to be presidential director by December of 2014, your goal looks like this. I am presidential director on or before December 31st, 2014. And when you say that goal, I am presidential director, what does it do to you? I am presidential director on or before December 14th. It becomes a reality today of what you're working for in the future. So you work on it on a daily basis because you're stepping up every time you look at that goal. I am presidential director. Woo, makes a huge difference. Huge difference. Okay, administrative items, order your sign-up pack, activate your Mastech website, set up your automatic order, set up Success Tracker, and Navigate. Those are the things that we're going to suggest. Navigate's really big and important to us for a number of reasons, but one of the reasons is they have tremendous amounts of trainings on there, how to respond to objections, and your new people are going to love and thrive on some of those trainings because it's trainings you don't have to do, right? There are additional trainings that aren't covered by my website because that's not what my website's about. But the important thing is, or our team website, the important thing is that we want them to have access to those. So right now, in order to have Navigate, they have to pay for it. So we're trying, what Lydia and I are thinking about doing is grabbing some of the ones that are most impactful to get them started and popping those trainings onto our website. How cool would that be? So, yeah. It comes with the renewal pack. It doesn't come in the Champion pack when you buy the $4.98. It comes in the $9.98 pack, I think. Yeah. That was the $9.98 pack, I think. Oh, the other one was a year? $9.98. Yeah. But we're working because Mastech is still in confusion around how Navigate's going to fit in. You know, they brought in Roy Truitt. Now he's no longer on board, and so there's a lot of confusion around there. I still love a lot of the aspects of Navigate. I'm not sold on handing out the cards because we had too much problem with people responding to that. It was a lot of time and energy that didn't really play out for me. So I wasn't really excited about that aspect of it, but I can still follow up with people and send them emails out of there, but I love the trainings, all the trainings there. So I think that we have a good group of assets there that we want to take advantage of. But Lydia and I, like I said, we're going to run through them and try to pop some of those off and put them on our own website so we can help with that. And I know I did a lot of those. I did like 6 of them. So I've got a bunch on there myself that they can't complain if I take my own off. They might get fussy if I take somebody else's, but we'll at least get some of those off them and put them on our website. Let me go back one more time, Lynn. Was it? Set up Success Tracker, Navigate. Oh, I think that's it. Okay, good. Administrative items. 4 basics. We're building. That's the 4 basics that you need to share with people. You need to talk to people about the 4 basics. Your brand new person needs to understand the 4 basics. What is this? This is a cycle, right? Build your contact list, contact and invite, presentation, follow up, and close. That's a cycle in Mastech. This is the cycle you talk to people about. You're in this cycle all the time. And the most important thing you do when you're building your plan is how many people are you going to be contacting, how many people invite, how many presentations you do. Those are the commitments that you make because this is a cycle that creates results. When you fall out of this cycle, you have no results or you're hit and miss. This is a cycle that you want to be in all the time. So you always want to be building new names in that contact list, putting new people that you have on there always. Every single week. That's why in my coaching program I have with people I coach with, it's like, how many new contacts did you have last week? How many presentations did you do? How many new members? How many new all-stars? Every single week they report that information to me because if you're not in the action, then you're not in Mastech. You might think you are, but you got to be in action. This is an action business. What? No. I never, and I hate, that's one of the things I wasn't excited about the Navigate too. You hand out cards everywhere. I have no control. I want control over the relationships. Every relationship I have with anyone, I want their card and I want to stay in control of that relationship. Because once I give up that control, I have no prospect of that working out. Ever. Yeah. Okay, so this is a core activity. It's constant. This is what you should be looking at all the time in your business. If you're not in the midst of this, you got to be in this flow constantly. How many invites, how many How many new people did you talk to this week? How many new people did you share with? If you're not doing this every week, you're not in the business. Get sense? Okay. 4 basics. That's your time. Understanding the 12 daily actions. This is actually on a page that has checklists on a weekly basis. It's a weekly basis, right? Or 28? No, monthly basis. It's a 1 month or a 28-day period, and they have a business period. They have these 12 on the side, and you tick them off every day. You keep it as am I doing what I need to be doing? Give thanks, read daily affirmations, review your goals and dreams, list your things to do for a day, plan your calendar, read for 15 to 30 minutes every day, listen to a CD, DVD, or I think that should be right, Lyd? Or navigate training module every day. Make your car a traveling university. Really, how much time do you spend in your car? You should have a bunch of CDs and CDs and tapes and stuff like that you're popping in to listen to when you're in that time frame. That time in the car is invaluable to you. You can be feeding greatness into your mind, or you can get trapped into the sorrows of the world, right? That's why I can hardly read the newspaper these days, man. I read it when I work out, and it's like so pathetic. It's like, oh my gosh, it's all about garbage. There's very few. You try to read good articles in the newspaper, you know what? You'll only work out for about a minute, because you'll be done with the good articles in the newspaper in 1 minute. So it's no wonder I love the sports section. Okay, so you want to make sure to listen to CDs. One of the things we're doing on the website, are you guys ready for this? This is another thing I want you to tell your new business builders to do. Making the Shift. You guys remember Darren Hardy and the CD that he made? It's called Making the Shift. It's about 40 minutes, right, Lydia? Have you never heard it? Oh, my. Oh, okay. Anyway, Making the Shift by Darren Hardy. And by the way, Darren Hardy's going to be a keynote speaker at Manifest this year. Making the Shift CD is one of the greatest CDs to give a brand new business builder. And what you do is you let them, so you say this to them, you listen to this every day for your first 2 weeks. Every day for their first 2 weeks. Now that doesn't mean they can't listen to every day the rest of their life. It just means it's mandatory requirement every day the first 2 weeks. Well, we are taking that Making the Shift CD and we're putting it on the Team Champions website. So they can go on there. You can go on and download it on your iPad. You can whatever. But there's no excuse not to be listening to that. And I want everyone to promise me, when are we doing it? Today. Okay, so by tomorrow, I want you all to go and listen to Making the Shift. Okay, just put that on your calendar starting Monday and listen to it for a week and see if that doesn't change your life. Really, it's so awesome. It's a great CD. All right, add at least one new name to your, and this is just concept. Present at least one time per day. So do it one presentation a day. Add at least one new name. I like 3 to 5. That's what I tell people to do. 3 to 5 new names every day. Follow up with your team and your customers because you want to have a good customer service. You want to support your team. Set up a new member associate and serve them. That obviously doesn't happen every day, but every time you get to do that, you check it off and use the product every day. Here's your 12 daily actions. Great. You stay in this action, this is what happens, and you have a chart to have you do that. Education for your new business builders. There are a couple of books that I really like. If you're starting brand new business builders, there are probably more. We're going to have a book. We're going to have a book list. I'm waiting because our flight team that I'm on right now. This is that flight team that's been going on for, since September or August. My flight team, they're all getting together to put a master list, suggested book reading list. So I'm kind of waiting to see what they come up. I have master lists already. I have a couple of them that I already have. But 2 of the things that I think serve new business builders the most. This one because it was most impactful to me. And the one I'm holding up is Being the Best You Can Be in MLM by John Kalich. And you can get this book today on Amazon for $4. But this was like a blueprint to my business. It made all the difference in the world. Did I read it my first week in network marketing? No. I wish I would have had it. I didn't find it till I was in networking for about 5 or 6 months. But when I read it, it totally shifted my business. Huge shift. Because it gave me an idea of what this business, because when you get involved in network marketing, it can look like spasmodic behavior, right? It can be all over the place, hit and miss. I don't know, what am I doing? Where's the structure? What do I have to be thinking about? This book says it all. This book, Owning Yourself by Paula Pritchard, was awesome to me because this is about a woman that was a professional. She was getting her doctorate degree. She was a teacher, a professor at Kent University, and she was getting her doctorate degree. And somebody invited her to an Amway meeting. And so she went to this Amway meeting, and she saw these people getting up who after their first 3 months, they're making $1,500 a month, and after a year, they're making $6,000 a month. And she's listening to all this, and she was like, I just went and met with my head guy, head of the department, and he said, once you get your doctorate degree, you're going to be making an additional $1,500 a year. And she watched this little girl get up who was making $1,500 a month after 2 months or 3 months. And she looked at this and she goes, I'm doing this. Really? So she moved into Amway. She did her business for a year, and she called her upline because she was so distraught. She had all these people in her organization. She had to babysit all the time. It was miserable. It was like, oh my gosh, how can I do this? This is driving me crazy. This is like a big babysitting job. They come, they go, they don't respond. They're not doing what they're supposed to do, blah, 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 blah. Paula was having a fit. So she calls her upline, and he you know what he told her? He said, start over and do it the right way. He told her to abandon her whole downline. He says, quit dealing with those 2s and 3s. Go out and find 8s and 9s. And so she started all over. She became a diamond life in Amway, like in the next 12 or 18 months. Much like Sarah Robbins. They went out and she presented the business, and she looked for people that had those characteristics instead of just, finding somebody who breathes and getting them on board. Now, I don't mind getting people who breathe on board, but if they don't want to jump through the hoops and help themselves be better and go through some transformation, they're never going to make it in, right? So they need to be, dedicated to make it happen. But the important thing about that everybody needs to get, even some of you yourself can say, well, Mary Jo, I'm not all driven. I don't have all those characteristics. That's okay, because it's not who you are per se. It's who do you know. Do you get that? So go after the people you know, get Mary Jo in front of them, or get somebody in your other upline members in front of them, and find those people that are truly, they'll have all those qualifications, and place them underneath you, and it doesn't matter. Right? You follow? You're getting this? Because we're all not going to go through major transformations in our life, but that doesn't mean we can't be successful in network marketing. We just have to keep our focus on the 8s, not on the 2s. Make sense? Right? And I always tell people, I said, don't ever prejudge people too. I'll never forget, this guy came to one of my meetings. I love to tell this story because it's so funny. He came to one of my meetings that I was doing years ago when I don't even think I was a presidential director yet. But he came to one of my meetings, or no, I wasn't. Because he's actually above Lori, right? Whatley? Yeah, he's above. So I wasn't presidential director yet. So I'm doing meetings after meetings. I'm doing meetings in Mesquite, and I'm doing meetings over in Fort Worth, So I got 2 or 3 meetings I'm doing every week. Now, listen to what I did when I was growing my business. 2 or 3 meetings every week that I'd have in specific locations. And anyway, I go to these meetings, and I do the meetings. I put them on, and one time I went to the Fort Worth place, and this guy walks in, and he looked like an English sheepdog. And his shirt had safety pins all up and down the front of his shirt, not one button. And I thought, boy, this is a winner, right? I mean, you're very impressed, So here we right away go into judgment, right? So after the meeting's over, I go over, I introduce myself. I'm really nice. I just introduce myself. I talk to him a little bit, and da-da-da. And he goes, I have any questions? No, it's very interesting. I have some materials here. I'll read them. So he comes back the next week. There he is again. I go, whoa, you're back again. So I went through it again, and I asked him again, and we just talked a little bit, and he left it. And then I'm thinking, oh, my gosh, this is a disaster. Well, 5 days later, I get a phone call from this guy, and he goes, Mary Jo, I'm coming over. I'd like to come over with my cousin, and we both want to sign up as All-Stars. This is when the All-Star Pack was $1,000, people. And I said to myself, I said, maybe you ought to use some of that cash to buy some buttons first. So you see our problem with judgment about people. And that guy never signed up anyone except All-Stars the entire time that he was actively doing Manatech. And he brought, through him, I was led to Lori Whatley and the health food store in Wichita Falls, and then Patty Behrens in Arizona, and that leg became like a presidential leg for me. But it started with the guy with the funny buttons. But so know that you know that you know. Not everybody's going to look that way, but it's what did I do with him? I supported him and loved on him, but I didn't put a ton of time and energy to him. I just kept going, who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Get it? Who do you know? Who's out there? What do you know? And that's when they tell me things like, well, I tried to get this health food store, but they never, followed up on the appointment. And I go, great, so let me try. I went in there and tried. Guess what? Bingo, we got her in. Next week, 20 applications. Next week, 20. I mean, I was putting in 20 people a week for this gal because I showed her how it worked. And all we did was stock her shelves by signing people up. That's how we stocked her shelves. So it was really cool. It was just turned out, it can pan out to anything as long as you allow your brain to go, anything's possible. Right? And just grab onto it. Okay, what else do we have, Lyd? Are we almost done? Oh, last closing. Here's our closing for the day.
There are more than 6 billion people in the world, and we all have one thing in common. Ever since we were kids, we've all had big, bold, and exciting dreams. We believed we could change the world. But somewhere along the way, we stopped believing. Remember dreaming of that day when you could get the keys to that great big mansion? When you could look in the mirror and feel totally alive? And that day when you could finally smile, knowing that your life is a complete success? Imagine what would happen if we all just started believing a little bit more. Imagine all the possibilities. What if there was a way to reignite your dreams? A solution exists that has the potential to change the world. A solution that has the ability to transform millions of lives. A solution that is so simple, many of us don't believe it even works. We have the ability to live out our wildest dreams. We have the ability to dramatically change our lives. And we have the ability to make the world a better place. One life at a time.
I am laughing. Life is perfect. I'm not trying. It's just happening.
Are you ready to live out your dreams?
It's 3 o'clock. I'll stick around for question and answers. I hope you enjoyed the training today. Learn a lot. Give us your feedback. Send us emails. Let us know if we're missing anything. I hope you like the new remake of our website, Teen Champions, as well. And we're putting a lot of focus and concentration on it to make it really look so professional that you're proud to take anyone to it, right? So that's what's important. Anyone have any questions? Anything from the field, Lyd? Give it a few minutes. Anyone here have any questions? Did you learn a lot? Yeah. Good stuff? So what are we going to do different walking out of here? Yeah. Yeah. Right. So you still got a couple hours. Yeah. Good day Saturday. Go lifestyle prospecting. Take one of those scripts and just really focus on it and just go out and say, I'm going to use it 4 times on my way home. Not in the car looking at yourself, but I mean stop places, gas stations, stop here. There's a concept of just stopping at places even though you're not going to buy anything, just to interact. Yeah, it's a good excuse. Yeah, to walk in and just walk around, and because you can go looking for something and not buy, but it's a way to interact with people, and you can get some things.
Well, I do have a question because even the complex.
Yeah.
And I haven't put anything out on email, and I mean there are some pathetic little things for beginners out there, begging them to come try their product, and it's a inner complex. So would one of these scripts fit for that?
I would think so. What Ginger's talking about is she says she lives in a complex, and there are people in her complex that are sending out, because they have an inner complex email, and they're sending out things that are just really lousy little sad pieces of work about, try my product or something like that. And Ginger asked if some of these scripts might work, and I said absolutely. Refining one of them would be perfect, but it would be from a perspective, let's find business people. That's what we want to do. So let me work with you on that, and I'll help you build ads, and we'll get it out. Perfect. Which ones? Oh, okay, sure. You can put that. Yeah. Yeah, for kind of a broad sweep email. Sweep email.
We might set up
Call it a sweep.
thing, like, do it one day, 2 days later, 5 days. We might set up a system for
Yeah,
that too.
right. Well, you might do that as you do this, and then 2 days later you go back and say, we're having a big meeting with the people that were interested, don't forget about the meeting. So you do 1, 2, 3. So you're going to capture, somebody might have responded to the first one. If they didn't, they're going to see, now there's a meeting, and now don't forget the meeting. By the time they hit the third one, guess what happens? They're going to show up. Because the first time didn't get them, but now that it's really panning out and everybody's going to be there, I don't want to be left behind. So they're going to want to find out. Their inquisitive nature will cause them to show up. And I can come and do a presentation with that. That'd be great. Good. Super. Yeah, lots of ideas. There's just a ton of ways to go and find people. We just need to take the energy and effort to go do it, right? Amen to that. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Appreciate all you guys. Have a great Saturday, and we'll talk